Oh, my windows are open. Hello, everyone. I kept my windows open. That's okay. It's gonna be a quick one. Hi, it's Cyber Chick in Boston in my command center Monday morning, March 9th. And we are here for a very quick lunch and learn, which I don't call it that because people think that's boring and too work-like. So we are going to jump in and find out what's going on. I haven't followed up on any war updates, which I know is disappointing, and we need to know what's going on in the war. Welcome to, I just like flew in here. I had to run out and get my refill of my water and my coffee. So let me look. I know my lighting's going to be off. I don't care. I want my window open. When my window is open behind me, the lighting is going to flicker. It's okay because this will be a quick one. And I just, it's beautiful here. It's finally warm. I haven't been out myself, but I've let my dog out multiple times, and I know that it's warm out, warmish. The snow is melting. Hi, Coco. Thank you for joining. Hi, Kristen. Listen, I know my lighting's going to be off, but I'm keeping my windows. I'm choosing light. I'm choosing sunshine over quality of my production because it's not going to be a super long one. Hi, Grammy. Oh, so you want the code? I can give it to you. Hi, Semantics. Isn't this fun? I actually have a really full day, and I'm going to try to do yoga right at like 5:30. So I was like, oh, I probably won't even have time to do a live. But then I found myself going, well, I have to catch up on the news. And if I have to catch up on the world events, I'm going to pull my friends in with me. Oh, you already ordered it? Just let Julie know. It's either Cyber 10 or Machado 10. I think she always honors those codes. So hello, everyone. If you're just joining or watching on replay, I'm Cyber Chick in Boston. I started my channel in October. It's funny, I started it October 10th. I went live. I did a story about my cult. And hi, sister. Coco's been avoiding all the news, and I will get you caught up. Okay. Hi, Deb from the car. Thank you for joining in. I know, Semantic, the sunshine looks nice. However, it throws the lighting off, so you'll see my camera, and it's not on autofocus, so I'm not sure why it does it, but it adjusts. I guess it's constantly adjusting the brightness in the camera. So it's accommodating for the lighting. However, it doesn't do it in a Teams meeting. Isn't that weird? I don't know. We should look into that. Let's look into that. That's a fun project for the weekend. Yeah, when I started the channel October 10th, I don't think maybe Jess started at the same time. I didn't watch Jess at that point. And I know she's doing a 3-day seminar on YouTube and going live, which is going to be great because I get a lot of questions from people like, I want to go live and I'm afraid to go live. And I get it. I was petrified. It took me 10 months. And I actually probably had a little bit of an advantage because I already had a command center and I already had the monitors and I didn't have this microphone, but I had a microphone. Let's see if you can see. Oh, you can see a little bit of it. It's a Shure. I had a different one. I didn't like the sound of it on my YouTube channel. It sounded tinny. So, but it was scary going live the first time. Luckily, I have a really big family, so I had all 10 people from my family on, and then I had some stragglers, and I also had some people that were ex-cult members that helped. And now it's just nice to know. I usually get, during the live with the 3 platforms that I'm streaming, I get around 50, and anywhere from 50 to 75, but the replay crew brings me up in the hundreds, and I'm happy with that. I'm a small channel, just trying to spread the word of the cult, and then started to make friends and decided to hop on and talk about things that we can learn. I'm all about learning, and I'm all about facts. I really liked yesterday's live. Can I say that I liked my live? I loved Luke and Melissa. I love the MIT grads that built a search engine called Jmail. I haven't gone in and investigated yet because we had people over, and I had a really busy night. And then when I got up and went right to work, so I haven't had time to investigate Jmail, and I have to do that. Like I wouldn't want to do that on a work computer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't get too big. Hi, Bay Harbor Beauty. It's good to see you. I know, Kristen. I am afraid of trolls, to be honest with you. Um, I like this chat. I like how I was going to say intimate, but that's probably weird. I like the intimacy of everyone being nice. Hi, Jen. I know it's gorgeous outside. Everyone go outside. Get some fresh air. I will be doing that. Yeah, Semantic says, I love them too. I wish I had a decent PC to investigate Jmail. It's just an email. So did you see yesterday when I can pull it up later? You basically Google Jmail, MAIL, like Gmail, except it's Jmail, and it pops up with an email search box of all of Epstein files. I don't know, you just have to be in the mood, I think, to do it. Hi, Bolaskeddies, we're just kicking off here. We're just gonna catch up on all things war, Epstein files, not go too deep because we don't have enough time, but we do wanna stay current and we wanna know what's going on. I like Aaron Parnas? Why did I just stumble on that? I like Aaron Parnas. He is to me, he represents the youth, and I like the fresh look of someone who is intelligent. He went to law school. Well, he went to college at 14. Okay, so he's smart. I was not going to. I was barely ready to go to college at 17. Graduated law school and was a lawyer at 18. Worked in a law firm. Decided to become a journalist. Was a Republican, but voted for Harris. I like I like the way he reports on facts. So that's who I choose to follow. And so if you're here, you're going to follow him too. Um, Sorry, I get so disturbed. Oh, Bay Harbor Beauty says hit the likes. Thank you. Okay, so let's go and share. I didn't tee it up yet because I just got here. You guys just got here. I just got here. Let's add him to the stage. Yes, Coco, we like to have peace and discuss current events, and we do it. We don't call anyone names. We don't, we love both political parties. I'm not a fan of Trump personally, but that's okay. You guys can be. He is the president. That's just my own personal. I don't want to hide that. But I have voted for both political parties. I try to go off of lining up the pros and the cons and not letting one party dictate I guess that's an independent, right? My belief system. Okay, add it to stage. Okay, I'm gonna start. I have two that I wanna show. He does short clips, which is great. He always says it's breaking news. Hashtag it's not really always breaking news. It can't always be breaking news because then when this really is breaking news, how do you let us know that? That's my only criticism, Aaron. That and the fact that he's married, so he can't marry my niece, Nikki, and become part of my family. That's a bummer.
We have some major developments this evening regarding the war in Iran and more. Crude oil prices right now are surging to their highest level since 2022, the height of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which means that your gas prices, well, they're about to soar as well. The stock market futures are down across the board from the Dow to the Nasdaq to the S&P 500. Down across the board, the market is set to open at a lower number than it closed Friday evening. All the while, Iran has selected a new supreme leader to take over for the late Ayatollah Khamenei. The new supreme leader is the late Ayatollah's son, and while Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham say he may not be around for much longer, all while White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt this evening is not ruling out the possibility of a military.
So I don't like that. We're going to listen to it. And yay for Bay Harbor Beauty getting more orders than normal. Yay, promotion. We love that. We love supporting women and we love supporting small businesses, especially a good one. Ayatollah son, is that what he said? I'll have to go back and listen to that. Remember when I said I don't like the Iran current regime, and if we can overhaul that, I don't think it's up to us to go and fix we're going to be at war with everybody if we're fixing everyone else's problems. But having said that, for my sisters who I love so much that not sisters in the real sense, but I know a lot of Iranian women who are under this dictatorship, and I do want to see it change. I want to see it change from the bottom of my heart, but it's not going to change if you put the son of the Ayatollah in a powerful position, right? Okay, let's see what he has to say. I'm sorry. I don't know why I interrupted.
Draft in the
Sorry.
United States of America, although such a draft is not on the table right now. And well, we have our 7th United States service member killed in combat today. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The more you like, the more people see, and people need to see this, even if you don't necessarily like the news. And subscribe to my Substack, click the link below to support my work. Let's begin by talking about crude oil futures. Right now, crude oil is hovering around $108 a barrel. That's the highest it's been in years, since 2022. And that price is set to only continue going up this week because of what is happening in the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil passes through, remains closed effectively, as no ship can really go through without potentially being bombed either by Iran or Israel or the United States. In addition, a number of Middle Eastern countries, a number of Gulf states, including Kuwait and Iraq today and over the weekend, have announced the reduction in their oil production, which means that your gas prices are set to go up. Gas prices may very well hit $4 a gallon on average by the end of the month. Jet fuel prices are also set to rise pretty quickly, which means that if you are flying anywhere anytime soon, expect to pay more fare to be able to fly. At the same time, the Dow futures, stock market futures, are down across the board. Dow is down about 800 points, right? S&P 500 down about 106 points. NASDAQ down about 370 points. Ever since Pam Bondi made the claim that Dow Jones is above 50,000 or has hit 50,000, the Dow has dropped nearly 4,000 points down to almost just around 46,600 points. And while it's only set to continue dropping because of the war, the longer the war goes, the more the markets will be spooked. And comments like these from the White House aren't going to help it. Take a listen to what Caroline Leavitt had to say regarding the possibility of a military draft in the United States of America.
Out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
It has been, and it will continue to be. And President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander in chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely keeps his options on the table.
It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president wisely keeps his options on the table. Now, a military draft in the United States of America will be very unpopular, suffice to say. And while it's already the war, it is generally unpopular. But even these remarks from Caroline Leavitt, which suggest that at least it's still potentially an option, even if it's not in the current plans, has enraged even folks on her side. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying Caroline Leavitt doesn't rule out a draft. How about the answer is no draft and no boots on the ground, because we campaigned on no more foreign wars or regime change. Liars, every single one of them. Not my son over my dead body. And her feeling is not unique, because right now the support for the war in Iran is dropping. 54% of voters, the majority of voters, disapprove of Trump's handling in Iran, compared with just 41% who approve, 5% who say they don't have an opinion or aren't sure. A similar share, 52%, say that the United States should not have taken any military action. 41% say the United States should have, and 7% say they aren't sure. This is a poll from NBC News. And if you were to continuously poll the American voter over the course of, say, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, as long as this war lasts, I would expect that these numbers to continue to go apart.
I think there's a lot of unknowns. First of all, you cannot ever state that if you're at war, you can never say we'll never have a draft, can you? I mean, that's the unknown. And also, we don't know, is this war 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, 5 years? We don't know. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Aaron.
With
Love
more
you.
Americans going to disapproval category and less Americans going into the approval category, especially if the United States of America has some type of draft and this war expands with boots on the ground, which not saying is happening, but the White House isn't saying categorically no, that won't happen. And well, it's comments like these from Lindsey.
That's a good question, Symantec. I'm assuming he is talking about public at this point, a public draft. That's how I interpreted it, but let's listen. Maybe I'm wrong.
Graham, who is one of the architects behind this war, that have a lot of people nervous right now on Capitol Hill, nervous right now across America. Take a listen to what Lindsey Graham had to say about what's
I'm not a
next
fan of Lindsey.
for Iran.
And we're going to win.
All right,
Israel and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks, meaning what?
We're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time. We're going to have prosperity unlike anyone could ever imagine. Peace brings prosperity. You can't do it by talking. The Democrats criticize this operation. They didn't do a damn thing. These men and women in the military should make us all.
Coco, thank you for sharing that. I know it's hard and it's so toxic to say. I was afraid to say I'm not a fan of Trump. So I think it's brave of you to say that you're a Trump supporter that's disappointed. And I think a lot of people could say that. And you also, I just have people that are huge supporters. When I say that I dislike him, it's not even the politics as much as I don't feel I can trust him. I don't feel I can trust this person, Lindsey Graham. And I am all about trust and facts and data. And I get real nervous when I can't trust the administration. I didn't trust Biden either, though. So where does that leave us? Where does it leave me? I'm screwed.
Proud.
So he says, next 2 weeks, we will see what happens next. Now, right now in Iran, things are changing already. Today, Iran named Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new supreme leader, following the killing of his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in an Israeli strike less than 2 weeks ago. His son was relatively a low-profile cleric at the center of Iran's political and military command. He is now at the top. Well, he may not be there for much longer, because Donald Trump told ABC News today that any supreme leader in Iran is not going to last long without U.S. approval, and previously dismissed the son as a, quote, lightweight in comments to other media outlets. The remarks came as Israel also signaled it would continue targeting anyone involved in choosing a successor to the late Ayatollah, while analysts say that elevating his son is intended to project strength inside Iran despite mounting external pressure with the war with Israel and the United States. So we'll see what happens next, but at least as it currently stands, this regime change has replaced an 86-year-old, likely soon to be dead due to natural causes, supreme leader, with a much younger and what some say is a much more radical supreme leader. So we'll have to see what the next several.
That's what I was worried about. We'll watch his next video after I say a few words. So that's what I was saying I was worried about a week ago when we said we were going to war. I am happy to have the radical Islamic, extremists thrown out. But are they thrown out if you're bringing in someone who's even more radical and extremist, who's even how can you be more? And how do you do that? How do you teach the men in that society who were raised since they were babies to treat women like animals, like sheep, like goats, beat them regularly? How do you, and I don't know, because I'm not there. I do have friends there, and I know that their brothers and their husbands don't view them that way. So how ingrained in the system is this extremists? And is it just the top levels? I don't know. See, Skip, we were talking about this yesterday. When you don't know, you don't know. And you just put it out there. I know Bay Harbor. I want to trust him. You know who I liked? He wasn't a president, but one of my favorite politicians is Pete Buttigieg. I think Pete is and he probably will never be president because he's gay. Him and his husband, Chaz, have adopted twins. I follow him. I actually met him I have a picture of him. I'll show it next time when I have time to set it up. I have a picture of him when he was speaking in New Hampshire. I think it was at a college or even a town hall. He had no security guards. I went right up to him. He hadn't put his hat in for any big job at that point. And I align with him. I like Pete Buttigieg. He's my guy. I would trust him. He seems trustworthy. And don't come at me if you hate him. We can all have our favorite people that we like and disagree. It's crazy, semantics. It's crazy how parallel our thinking is in most countries. Many of us haven't had trust in our leadership for many years. I know, despite changes in leadership. You're in the UK. Yeah, so maybe that's interesting. And you have, the royal family. And all of this craziness makes you wish for the royal family sometimes. Of course, I love the royal family. Okay, let's look at what else he had to say. There was one other video I want to show you because I was going to watch it. So if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it with you guys.
We have some news
Let me guess. It's breaking news, Aaron.
right now. The Trump administration and the president himself underestimated what Iran was capable of in response to the U.S. strikes on Iran. New intelligence community information coming out via the New York Times shows following the death of the 7th U.S. service member yesterday that we learned about.
Oh,
We're
I
now
didn't hear
learning that the Trump administration actually wasn't fully prepared for what Iran's retaliatory strikes would be, and that they underestimated what Iran was actually capable of. It comes as a new hardline supreme leader has been elected in Iran. This supreme leader is more hardline than his father, and he has more of an impetus to go after the United States because the United States just actually also killed his wife as part of the initial strikes. And finally, we're learning today, according to a New York Times analysis, that a Tomahawk missile was launched by the United States of America, did strike near that all-girls school in
Hi,
Manab.
Rhonda. We're just catching up, Rhonda. Hold on. Did he say the Ayatollah's son's wife was killed in war? Is that what he just said? The Ayatollah's son. I don't know his name. I'll have to get his name. Rhonda, we're just catching up real quick on some news here. We didn't pay attention yesterday on Sunday.
Iran, the only army in this conflict that has access to Tomahawk missiles, not Iran, not Israel, but the United States. And despite Trump's claims that Iran bombed that school, not the United States, all evidence shows otherwise. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to my Substack. Click the link below as we're on this journey to build something bigger than Fox News. So subscribe today.
Aaron, you're trying to be
Let's
bigger
jump
than
right into
Fox
it.
News?
A new Iranian supreme leader has been
I love that.
elected.
We'll help
The
you.
supreme leader is the son of the late Ayatollah Khamenei. Here's what you need to know about.
Look it. If I had only waited, he's going to spell it all out for me. Okay, we need to write this down. I don't know. Mojtaba Khamenei. Okay, hold on. Sometimes I have a really hard time with the names, so I spell it phonetically, and then I never know how to spell it the right way. Okay, I was going to read this slide deck, but I guess I should let him do it. His wife, Zara, killed in Israeli airstrike with his father. Okay, so she was killed in this war.
This
Thank
new
you.
supreme leader. He's more hardline than his father. He's the candidate preferred of the IRGC, which is the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, essentially. He's pretty young. He's 56 years old. His father was actually 86 when he died. He was actually likely to die soon anyway due to health conditions when the United States and Israel killed him. This new supreme leader generally avoids the public. He's trusted by not just his father, but also the clerics in Iran, so the religious establishment. He was in the military during the recent Iraq-Iran war, and his wife was recently killed in that same airstrike that killed his father.
So I have no idea what that means. More hardline than the father. The father was like crazy extremist. How can you be more hard? I hope he goes into detail, or I'm going to have to do some work on how he's more hardline. In what area? In the policing of women, policing of politics, war, economic.
So he has
politically.
more of a reason to have animosity towards the United States of America because his own family, outside of his father, were also killed in the first days of this
That's what I
current
was
war.
afraid of.
And it comes as the death toll in this war is rising. And for the United States, the grim toll in the first week of the war signaled that Iran was actually more prepared for war than the Trump administration anticipated. Iran has continued to put up a fight even after the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, and other top officials were killed with intelligence help from the CIA. In the past, Iran has given warnings before launching retaliatory strikes, making it known which bases housing US troops that it would be attacking. But since the start of the war, strikes have been widespread and less predictable. Now, Trump and others expect that casualty number to rise, and that casualty number may very well rise soon because there are several US service members who are seriously injured currently as a result of the war. And while this war doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon,
That makes me
and that's a
scared.
political problem for this White House. The closer we get to the November elections, the worse it gets for this president and for this White House. And I do want to make one quick note. There was a video circulating yesterday on some of these platforms of me claiming that the Iranian government somehow detained 100 plus
did that
American
to
service
Aaron?
members. That video is AI. That video is not
Bad
me. I did not make
AI.
that video. It is very scary these days. If videos are not coming directly from me and my platform and are just being reshared by other people, don't believe it because they're spoofing my voice. They're
Bad
using
AI.
my voice to spread false narratives. So that video is not true. But what is true, what video is real, is this one.
Israel. Get
It's a
it?
short video,
Israel.
right? And as you can see, I'll play it again for you because it was very quick. I want you to watch it again. That missile that you see as a Tomahawk missile, that Tomahawk missile struck just near the all-girls school in Minab, Iran. That strike killed 175 people,
That was last week.
many of whom
Not a new
were
one.
young girls. Donald Trump previously said the U.S. had nothing to do with the strike.
Mr. President, did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175
In
people?
my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran
Can you give us an
because
idea
they're
of
very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions.
He's so comfortable
They have no
lying.
accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
We think it was done by Iran. They have no accuracy with their munitions, but only one army in this conflict has access to that weapon. And it's not Iran, it's not Israel, it's the United States. Only the United States government has access to these Tomahawk missiles that were used in the strikes near the Iranian elementary school. There were strikes targeting
Do you see a missile, a Tomahawk missile? Like what are we looking at? I mean, is this the result? And this is what it looks like? I don't know military missiles, Patriot missiles, Tomahawk. I don't know 'em. So when he says only this is a Tomahawk missile, what are we looking at that defines what that is? Again, I always want the facts and the details. I trust you, Aaron. I'm not questioning you. If you say it, I'm inclined to believe it, but I'd like to know what I'm looking at and how we know that's it. It must just be the way the smoke is pillowing out. If anyone knows, you can
the
put it in
naval
chat.
base.
You guys are
And
probably
it looks as
smarter.
though, at least
than I
based
am
on
on
this
this.
video and others that we've seen, that one of the missiles also struck the elementary
I
school.
have no idea.
Does it mean that it was intentionally targeted? No. And I said last night that ultimately, whether or not this was an intentional strike is something that a tribunal will have to decide, whether it's a court, whether it's Congress, an international tribunal of sorts following the conclusion of the war, whatever it may be. It's not for me to decide. And intentionality does matter in cases like these, depending on the severity of the strike and what happened. And it comes as well, crude oil continues to surge. We're over $100 a barrel. And this graph from LSEG really kind of puts it into perspective for you. Crude oil was generally hovering anywhere between about $60 to $80 a barrel. Then the strike happened and it's up 20%, near $100. Right now it's kind of leveled at around 99 to 100, somewhere in between there. It's moving repeatedly. And while the market isn't doing any better, the stock market, the Dow Jones, is not above 50,000. It's actually below 47,000 where it opened this morning. And so when you think about how this war is taking a toll on the American people. It's taking a toll on the American stocks, on the 401ks, and more. And if you want to know what the president is focused on this morning, he's making news this morning saying that the FBI has now secretly seized election records from Arizona's largest county, from Maricopa County, as this so-called voting probe expands. What they're looking into in Arizona may be what they're trying to do in Georgia. Remember the Fulton County raid that everyone has seemingly just kind of stopped talking about? Yeah, well, they're doing something similar right now in Arizona, and not many people are talking about it because of the ongoing war. People aren't talking about the Epstein files because of the ongoing war, despite the fact that yesterday, this is from yesterday.
My son texted me. I'm sorry. I missed that what he just said, and I want to see that. I saw Amazon, I think, on there. Sorry. That's my bad. Let me go back. I think it was just a minute.
This is from yesterday.
Let me just
Aren't
see
talking
this.
about the Epstein files because of the ongoing war,
Oh,
despite the fact
Arizona.
that yesterday,
So
this is from yesterday, 100+ people showed up, including the family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre at the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, where Epstein abused young children. And the protests continue. This was in honor of Virginia, in honor of
Oh, in Arizona? Okay.
essentially International Women's Day. So there's still a lot of news out there, and a lot of news to cover, and I will be covering it literally every minute of every day. So make sure to like, comment, share,
Thank
and
you, Aaron.
subscribe. The more you like, the more people see this. Subscribe to my Substack. Click the link below to support my work. Let's build something bigger than Fox News, and I'll see you
Bigger?
soon for more.
All right. Well, keep us posted. Hold on.
We have some news right now. The
Yeah.
Trump administration.
I know you have news. I want to go back to your channel. Stop sharing. Okay. So Coco did some Google work. I did some chat GPTing too. So per Google, Tomahawks are designed to fly extremely low altitudes often, but I didn't see it. So I asked ChatGPT how we would know that I said, how do we know the Tomahawk missile that hit the school in Iran was from the US? I shouldn't have put it like that. I wanted to know how we know it's a Tomahawk. The honest answer from ChatGPT is we don't know with 100% certainty yet. But the evidence is pointing in that direction that it was a US Tomahawk missile, because I should have worded it differently. A short video surfaced showing a missile hitting a nearby Iranian military compound in Manab. That was a Tomahawk cruise missile because the missile shape and flight pattern matched a Tomahawk cruise missile. Tomahawks are used, say that 100 times fast in sentences, are used by the US Navy, not by Iran or Israeli conflicts. Okay. There's investigators, specifically Bellingcat, which is an open source group, compared the video's landmark, roads, dirt, buildings, path with satellite images to confirm the location. And that compound, military compounds next to the girls' school. So let's see. Also, the US officials confirmed Tomahawk missiles were launched in the region during the opening attacks. So the video does show the Tomahawk hitting the military base. So I guess we just have to, that's not our area of expertise, so we look it up. That's the most emotion I've ever seen him show. Who, Aaron? Poor Aaron. He doesn't have a lot of emotion, does he? Hey, Tay, thank you for hopping on. We're just doing a quick update on the news. Let's see what if Brian has anything to tell us. We sort of stopped checking on Brian. He's still in Arizona, I think. Where is he? It's been so long. Oh, there is something updating from him. Let's see. When was this? Okay, we're going to check on. Anyone have any other questions about why would they put a school next to a military base? Kristen's got good questions. That's a good question. Why would you put it? Because obviously, I mean, that was probably intentional, right? I didn't even think of that. Why would you? I don't know. Okay, we're going to see what Brian has to say. Then I'm going to run. I got to run. And if you're wondering why my lighting is going in and out, it's because I left my windows open because it's a beautiful day. And we want to enjoy this beautiful day here without snow. Yay. So you have to suffer with the lighting going in and out.
Hey guys, so something new and interesting in the Nancy Guthrie story. There may have been an internet outage right at the time that Nancy Guthrie was abducted. I spoke with one neighbor who tells me that his Ring camera history shows as not available during the time of the Nancy Guthrie abduction, right around that time. And also, we know that other neighbors, the FBI has been to their houses and has asked them about a possible internet outage at that time. What's interesting about this is if you look back at the surveillance photos and videos of the suspect, there's this antenna that is sticking out of the pocket, at least what appears to be an antenna. We're actually not sure what it is. It could be an antenna. I've heard some people say it's a walkie-talkie. Others, though, have suspected it could be a signal jammer, which could play into this whole issue with the possibility of an internet outage. But this is new. I hadn't heard until now that there is one neighbor who says that his Ring camera footage, his Ring camera history is not available during that time frame, which is interesting. So I'll keep on top of it. This is downtown Tucson, by the way. All right, talk to you guys later. Hey guys.
Hi, Brian. Let's see if he's got he doesn't do lives, right? Oh, was Nancy a victim of elder abuse? I watched that. I didn't think that was interesting. I mean, basically, I don't think that was it. I think they're just trying to fill the time slots now, honestly. Side-eye Jess, it's 100% strategic. Yeah, I agree. It happens all the time. We've heard reports Hamas will set up in hospitals so no one will hit them. Yep. Yep. And then when you do hit them, because you're going after the military base, they go, look what the bad US did. They hit an elementary school, they hit a hospital. Yeah. That is really dirty. So what do you guys think? Who's going to participate in the 3-day event for starting a YouTube with Jess? I was in and out this morning because I had to jump on in and out a few times, and I heard her talking about it. Anyone here interested in starting a YouTube channel? I think it's a great idea because, you know, when you do start, you don't have any support or help. There's no, I mean, there's semantics like, no, not it. Prince, you leaving my office? There's no, you really just, I mean, I had just started watching Auntie Deb over the summer, and I just reached out and said, I don't know what to do. And he's like, you just have to do it. You just have to hit the live button. You just have to hit a live button. Look at all you people. Kristen, you'd be great, not me. I'd also welcome anyone hopping on if they ever want to give it a try, and just come on and be part of a panel so that you get used to it. I think that would help. So Jimmy told me, I emailed him and said, here are some questions. He was very nice, got back to me. And he's like, you just have to do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. And looking back on it, I wish I had just gone live for 5 or 10 minutes. No, not me. I had to put on a whole show about a cult, and it was a lot. I mean, it was fine. I laughed when I look back. It was fine. I did it. And you learn from it. So Jen says, I'm very curious, but not sure if I have time. It's true. I mean, I wish I had, when you're working full time, or if my kids were still at home, there's no way I could do it. My kids are out, so I don't mind the weekends hopping on for an hour or two because I feel like I've got so much time on the weekends. During the week, it's a little crazy. And when I'm traveling, I won't do it. Semantics, stop it. Do you know? So if you remember, I watched the pod. I haven't watched it in a while, but I had Amanda Doyle. I didn't have her on, but I played her podcast. And Amanda is the sister to Glennon Doyle, who's married to Abby Wambach. They have a podcast called We Can Do Hard Things, which I enjoy. I haven't listened to it on a regular basis, but they had gone onto YouTube, which I loved. And now they're back. They said it's too hard to always have to show up and worry about your looks, especially as women. And they're not wrong, right? They like the podcast audio version only because they felt so much tension and they got sick of hearing the comments because they're famous. Abby was a famous soccer player. Glennon was a famous author, public speaker. She suffers from anorexia and, public image issues anyways about her body. So she's self-conscious. So she just said, we're not doing lives anymore. And I get it. Cause like it's actually easier for me to go live during the weekday when I'm already dressed for work anyways. But on the weekends, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting on the clothes and the makeup, but I'll still go. I don't care what I look like, but I get it. We have to get over that though. And we have to just be like, show up. This is who I am. I love that about people that do it. They just show up. Hippie Chick has a channel, but you haven't done anything in a while. Side Eyes Jess has gone on a show, but not one of my own, I don't think. Hippie Chick, we'd love to promote it if you ever want to. It's totally up to you. Yeah, Jimmy was very encouraging. I went live the same time Emily C went live. Now, obviously, Emily C and Jess had a huge platform already. I started with 0. I wasn't even on X that much. I think I had 100 followers. I never posted on X. So that's another important thing is you don't compare your numbers to other people's numbers. So Emily C went live, I think 2 weeks before. I remember I landed in, and I had been pinging her because she had said, I want to go live to Jimmy, but she was making sure that she had everything set up. So we were just sort of encouraging each other behind the scenes. She went live when I landed in Seattle, Washington. And I was so proud because she hadn't really promoted it, which is also smart. You don't really want to promote your first one. You just kind of want to get through it. She was great. And I was like, yes, you did it. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to go. And then I went, I think 2 weeks later. I'm not sure when Jess went live. I didn't see her first one when she interviewed Kate. I should probably go back and watch that. I'd be curious to see that. I just sort of saw, what was the first Jess? I think it was a Saturday show. And then we all know how that went, how we had the whole chat hated me. We had a fight. So that was funny. I would be horrible. Kristen, you would not. I'd be canceled by haters within a week. I have a tickle in my throat, which isn't good because I'm presenting at 2 o'clock, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't be canceled. Hold on, I'm going to cough. Hippie Chick. It's just me going live in Boston, some pics. I thought about getting a whole new setup. I saw Esty went live yesterday. She wasn't live on camera, but she was audio live. I didn't see it because I had people coming over, but I just saw that she did it. You have no friends on here. We're all friends with you. Hippie Chick, I had 0 followers. I went live. I made my family. I sent out the link to my family. Thank God I have a big family. And I'm like, could everyone just sub? Because I'm going to go live and I only have one person. It's my husband. I took his phone and created a YouTube channel and sub because he doesn't even do YouTube. So he was so I knew he wasn't going to watch it. So that was funny. So when I went live the first time, I didn't even have 30 subscribers. Bayhaba Beauty's doing it. She's doing great. Bayhaba Beauty, I don't know if you're still in here, but she must be up to over 200 users. She did a live last night. She had a great chat. She went live for like 2 hours. It was great. Coco, I would consider it if I felt it would help others. I know lots about women's health. That's the other thing. It's not for everyone. You don't have to do it. It's just if you want to do it, don't let our own inhibitions prevent us. But honestly, Coco, I was only going to talk about the cult, and it just got I started to get really depressed just talking about the cult. I'm like, I have to come on. So now I do lighter topics. I talk about the war. When I think about what I want my channel to be, I want to be uplifting, which is really hard because I talk about the cult. I update us on the war, the Epstein files, but I try to do it in a factual way. And I also would love to always teach people about technology And I look at it as an extension to how I am in my professional life because I'm always trying to use my experience. I wish if I was in my 20s, I had the friggin' experience and the confidence that I have today because I would have handled those friggin' meetings. And we'll talk about this. I mean, I've been in meetings, keep in mind, I started out in cybersecurity in the 90s and the 2000s when there weren't a lot of women in technology. So I would be the executive in the room meeting with customers, and they don't know who I am. And they're asking me to take notes. They're asking me to get coffee. And and I wanted to cry. Sometimes after the meeting, I would cry because I tear up. I don't tear up in personal life, but in work settings, I just go there. I get choked up when I'm not treated fairly and now I would just be like, I have people say, "Can you take notes?" You won't believe that people say that. And I just say, actually, my notes are my own personal notes because my handwriting is atrocious and what I value in a meeting is different than what you value. But if you'd like, we can all share our notes at the end. Boom, done. The coffee machine is over there. So I don't know. Am I just rambling at this point? Maybe. So Jen, when I first started, when I started to mod for Jess, they came at me and I called her crying. I don't think she knew I was crying. And she was like, any PR is good PR. What is wrong with you? You need to toughen up. And all I did was block, mute, and ignore. And they've been quiet. They came at me. They said, first of all, it was stupid. They said Jess hired me to go investigate them and to follow them on all their Facebook accounts, which isn't true. I was part of a Facebook account. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was a Turtle Boy or a Karen Reed Facebook account. The big ones. I never know which one to sign up with, and I'm not on Facebook all that often. I joined a Facebook account that somehow became an Alties, and it became just Jen Altman complaining about Jess. And I'm not really in it that much. I never commented, not once. And they took that to mean that Jess hired me and then made me her mod and hired me to go and I don't know what I was supposed to be doing, snooping. Jess, you owe me money. I never got paid for that. But that wasn't bad. But then they were posting video. What I got really upset about is they posted videos of my sister night. Sister night is Tuesday nights. And it was just a couple of clips, but they just made fun of us. And I don't want my family dragged into any trolling at all. That's when I got really upset. The other things were just stupid. They were like, oh, she's not even in cybersecurity. I'm like, well, that's like saying Nurse Kim isn't a nurse. I'm in cybersecurity. So yeah, and they were, it just made me feel really, that part just made me laugh. I'm like, and they were obviously saying stuff like, they always say I'm old and, yeah, no, I would cry, Kristen. It's funny. Jess was good. Jess was like, you cry over that. And imagine what her and the other people that get attacked go through. And this was just a little piece, but I will say, muted, blocked, and I'm relatively quiet on X. I haven't had any issues since then. And I know I did. Donna's laughing. You just said lighter topics such as Warren Epstein. I know. When I said that, I knew that was funny. But we're doing it together. So I think I've gone off on a rant. My point was, what I wanted my channel to become is just a place of, I really don't want to pull in the drama. And everyone likes a little bit of drama, but I don't want to be involved in stuff that everyone's already covering already. I want to be a place where we learn together and we have comfortable conversations and comfortable dialogues. But it is a natural extension for me to want to mentor especially women in technology. And you've already heard me quote the stats in YouTube. There's not enough women in YouTube. 72% of content creators are male. So, and if you pair that with the fact that the fastest growing segment on YouTube are women ages 45 and up, like that doesn't match. So we're here to promote get women going. I love the feel of your chat and channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's really tricky to navigate the political war without alienating people. So I try to come in here and not, I mean, I'm honest about my feelings. The light just changed. And I checked my, like, imagine if I was talking all that time and I was on mute. I navigate, my personal feelings, and I will share them with you, but at the same time, just a safe place, a safe haven for all of us. So I offered my assistance to Jess if she wants it. I sent her a note and said, if you want someone to help you from a technical point of view, like how many gigabytes, I know she said you can just go live with any old piece of equipment, which is true, you can. But if you want to get any advice, like should you have a hardwire Ethernet connection, what kind of microphones, if she wanted any of that, I'd be happy to make recommendations. Yay, Shelley H. I celebrate that day. Good for you. Women's health is so important. Good for you. Good luck. Good luck. Lots of love and hugs going your way. Individual YouTube channels have a big future, so I believe we all have to be open to it. Hey, Coco. I love to go and, when my algorithm serves me up something that's different, I click on it. I'm not really into the same material being repeated over and over again. I mean, I'll check it out just to see what's going on. I mean, I'm not going to watch Meredith do whatever she's doing on her channel. It just doesn't hold my interest. So, yep, I'm open to supporting all you wonderful ladies. Thank you. Kristen, you do. You're a big supporter, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not supporting that channel, but she does great. So okay, when you're a beginner like I am, you can't look at that and go, okay, she's done 3 streams. She's got 10 times more subscribers than me, hundreds of more viewers. What's going on? You can't do that, because how sustainable is that? God forbid it's not sustainable, because if she's sustainable, that's crazy. So yeah, we don't watch crazy. And sometimes we watch crazy, right? I don't watch Real Housewives, but I understand why people want to watch a little bit of crazy. It's entertaining. And if you're always dealing with cybersecurity or national, threats, nation state threats, or the war or Epstein files, hey, sometimes you want a break. And I go to Solo in the woods, apparently. Did you see that? It muted. Okay, so let's go look at my microphone. Yep. Now, isn't that interesting? You guys won't think it's interesting. I didn't click on a different app. I was just in here talking, and my microphone shifted from my Shure to, not that you guys care, but Qualcomm. So it was shifted to this monitor and muted me. Is that AI muting me? Is that my own technology turning against me? Is it because I was talking about Mayor? Oh my God. I have to go see Kristen's comment. She looks very uncomfortable and licks her lips too much. That is really funny. Okay. I was saying something important. I don't know what it was, though. Let's see what Side Eyes has to say. Side Eye just says, I'll lurk with the crazies, but not participate as much as I want to tell people. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about what you do. So I apparently like really boring people like Aaron, Heather Cox Richardson, Solo in the Woods. So maybe my life is so frantic that when I go to my calm place, it has to be these slow talking people that live in the woods. Or like if you listen to Heather Cox Richardson, and I listen to her, I get her letters every night, but I actually listen to that. She is very slow and monotoned. I love her. So that's what I need, which is kind of funny. And you guys need Real Housewives. I get it. My next door neighbor loves Real Housewives or The Bachelorette. I don't watch any of those shows. Are you saying we are all, no, you guys are the excitement part, Kristen, but when I'm decompressing, and sometimes I bring that boring to you, but you're not boring, it's me. Look at my light going crazy. Kristen, is that driving you crazy that my lighting is, it's when I move too. Do you guys talk with your hands? Hold on, my husband's texting me. Let's see what he's saying. This is the time that he's probably going to be coming home. And he's asking me if I want a coffee, which I don't. I have my own coffee right here. So all that to say, if you want to join a channel, I'm certainly not an expert. Your light isn't boring. No, because you aren't on my TV. Oh, I was on your TV yesterday, so it was, or Saturday, so it was a problem. Yeah. Yeah, I just want the light to come in. Yeah, so all that to say that so if I was to compare myself, so Emily started a little bit before me. I don't know when Jess started, but I want to say we might have started the same. I didn't start watching her until November. So I started in October. I mean, my channel is 10% of what their channel is, but that's okay. So that's all I'm saying is don't compare yourself. Like set your own goals, just like you do in life. What's going to make me happy? What do I want to accomplish? And do it. Yay, I have to go. I have to get ready for a meeting. She was October. So Jess and I started at the same. Let me go back and see. Was it really? When was her first one? Hold on, I'm going to find out. Would it have been a live? Would have been a live, I bet. I wonder if do they get deleted? Let's see when she started. It would have been Kate. Let's look at the Kate one. Okay, Kate Peter right here, 7 months ago. Does it tell you what date? All right, hold on. You want to watch it for a second? Just for 1 second. Okay. Emily had a real, oh, I'm frozen again. You know why? Can you hear me? Or is it just, yeah, it just came with a big Twitter. Can you hear me or is it just frozen? Here, I'll go out and come in. Boop. I'm leaving. Don't go anywhere. No, I'm not going to leave because I think I lose everyone. Can you hear me? Bye, Shelley. Oh, you can see me. So sometimes and I restarted everything. I unplugged my Ethernet, plugged it in. I Googled it and they said YouTube is having issues when you go into different videos, but I'm staying within YouTube. I'm going to do this really quick. Oh my God, I'm going to watch her first one and see when, and then in all fairness, I can watch. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Come to my sister's show tomorrow. Okay, there it is. Hold on, I just want to see when it was.
Okay, so let's go over a couple of things. Welcome to the Jess and Shadow Show. This is a little weird because every Saturday I would do a radio show with no forward-facing camera. So this is weird for me. I don't want to do forward-facing, but I did a face for you. 3 hours probably seems like a lot of time, and we may fine tune that because on the radio we would do news at the top of the hour. We would have advertising and commercials in between, and that necessarily didn't fit into this. So when I was talking on air, when I had the radio show, it was like 47 minutes maybe or less every hour. This, we may have to fill it, but we can do a lot of different things. So next show, or maybe the one after that, we're going to do live calls. I don't know if that's a good idea. It might be a disaster, but we'll take live calls. I didn't have any problems. So some people were giving me some pushback on that, and I didn't have any problems with people calling.
I want to see the date. I don't see the date on this. Let me get out of here and just scroll down and see. It says 7 months ago.
You're watching on X. You're also watching on Substack, which is like the planets have aligned, and Substack has now started this live stream option. And I can't believe it literally started this past week and we get to try it. And so if you're watching it on any one of those platforms, do me a favor and share it. We didn't do a lot of promo this week. I guess this is a soft launch of the first show. but we just wanted to kind of make sure we had it all right. Can you imagine
Say
if
the
we
date,
started
say
this
the
and it
date.
didn't go anywhere and it just was a disaster? So good morning, besties. What am I looking at?
Stream live on
we're good?
August 2nd. Okay, so she's August. I knew it would say it somewhere. Okay, so Jess went live August 2nd. So I didn't see her till October or November. That's okay, Side-Eye Jess. I believed you because I hadn't seen her since then. So she was August. I think Emily C was September. I was October. Anyways, the point I was getting at is I don't compare myself in my numbers because we're all different. And I came into this. Oh, is Jessica here, Fritz? Hi, Jessica. Listening and while grocery shopping. Oh my gosh, I always do that, Jessica. I'm always at Whole Foods with the brand new register carts. Love them with Jess in my ear, ignoring the chat. I love to do that. I have to go, but this was really let's see. Jess looks so much more refreshed and free since this video. I know. That was, you know what? How about we watch that if you're interested? Maybe tomorrow at lunch if I have time, or someday this week if you're interested. And she doesn't care because I've asked her if I can do snippets. I've never seen the Kate Peters interview, and I think I'd like to. If anyone's interested in doing that, let's do that. That might be something fun to do when we're not talking about the war. All right, I have to go. It was lovely spending lunch with you. I'll see you all definitely tomorrow night with my lovely sisters for a 6 o'clock game show. And we actually have a game, so we're good. All right, take care, everyone.